Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, pop queens a feudin'. Pink is spilling the deets on the reason Madonna allegedly doesn't like her. Then, if you think I know a lot about Disney World, she is the Jedi Master. Journalist Brooke McDonald will join us live after her recent trip to the Star Wars Hotel. Is it worth it? And part 2 of the epic adventure of producer Ted and his snowblower. The Jason Show starts right now. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to day 4 of Snowmageddon 2023. And welcome to the Jason Show. Well, it feels like 4. Hi, everybody. I'm Jace. Hope you're having a good day. Let's make it a good day. Please, fake audience, give it up for Kendall Mark, everyone. My sidekick sister.
Hear that audience.
That's right.
Hello, fake audience.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi, real Jason.
Hi, real Kendall.
Hi.
Yeah, we decided out of an abundance of caution. Well, I'm serious. Out of an abundance of caution, we didn't have a studio audience today. So they'll be back tomorrow. We'd love to see you tomorrow. Tickets are still available. Go to eventbrite.com. What? I'm getting
We're
to
getting
that.
there.
Oh my God, the show's, we're on 1 minute and he's already driving me nuts.
Oh, man.
Executive producer Jeff is already, we're a minute into the broadcast.
Yep.
Anyway, Leo, take 5 so I can do this before Jeff yells at me. Hi. Jeff wants me to explain that the reason we don't have a studio audiences today is because we have like 72 inches of snow outside. And actually not really.
No.
It's probably like what, 11?
It's about a foot in a lot of different places around the metro.
Yeah,
but it's blowing really bad across the roadways.
So we didn't want people getting on the roads for this. But come see us tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow you can come for this. Yeah.
We like that.
Now speaking of the situation. We told you this yesterday. I love to make fun of the bosses here. I do it a lot. But when they're nice, I don't mind pointing it out. And they were a little generous. They didn't want us, the crews, driving. What? A little. They were nice yesterday. They didn't want us driving in the snow to come to work. So Marion Mim Davy Kessler, our president, whipped out. Thank you. She whipped out her black card, her Amex black card, and decided to let all of us stay at a hotel.
Yep.
The news people stayed at one hotel, and Kendall, and then the Jason Show crew stayed at a different hotel. So when we decided this, I said to my crew, because I love them, because here's the deal. I worked for an anchor once. I worked for somebody who was very cheap.
Yes.
And I was like in my 20s. I could barely pay my electric bill. I could only turn on my electric from 5 to 7 p.m. And she would take me out to dinner and always would make me pay. She made me, he made me pay for my own Frosty at Wendy's. And I always said to myself, if I got into a position where I had any money, I would treat my staff very well. So that brings me to this.
Yes.
So yesterday I said, our staff is trapped.
Yep.
We're going to be in a hotel. I want to take them to dinner. So, and Kendall, you were very nice. You're like, oh, I'm going to be there. Jeff was going to be there, photographer Eric. Even BB, who produces the other show, he came.
Yep.
Guess who didn't come? Producer Ted. Producer Ted.
Nope, didn't come. Didn't even answer us.
Didn't even answer the text messages.
Or phone
We're sitting
calls.
there. I ordered extra pizza for him.
It was thoughtful.
Jeff is texting him, ignored the messages.
Yep.
Got to the hotel around 9 p.m.
Rude.
Missed our whole You had a good time, didn't you?
I had an excellent time. It
Thank
was
you,
wonderful.
Kendall.
And the food was delicious. Thank you for my meal.
Well, you are welcome. You deserve that and a whole lot more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you know who had a better time than all of us?
Who, Jason?
Photographer Eric. What I'm getting ready to show you isn't fake. Wasn't created for the show. This is just who Eric is.
Yes.
Leo, put up the pictures. This is what Eric did in his hotel room. He created a tiki bar. See the coconuts there? He actually split them in the hotel room.
Eric!
he shelled the coconuts in the hotel room. That is how he decorated. He created a tiki bar in his hotel room.
Eric.
Kendall is seeing this for the first time. He had tiki torches. We have another one. And there's Eric.
Oh, Eric, so sad.
There is Eric drinking alone out of his coconut because he didn't really tell anybody this.
No.
Well, he
No,
told
he
you,
didn't.
but he didn't stress the effort that he went into. Oh God, we have video?
And the lights.
This
You
is
got
the tiki
votives?
bar that he set. Oh my goodness.
There's votives, Jason.
So if I would have known this, because I was raring to go and everybody left me. Everybody. Now, I mean, Kendall had a good reason. She was tired. Jeff has to work early, but I was raring to go. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, Eric. Okay, Eric also dropped this on us at like 7 p.m. Now we go to bed at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and he's like, hey, there's a tiki bar in my room. Why didn't you tell us earlier?
Yeah, I know.
We
would
would've
have gotten
come.
out because then we were at the. We'll get to the hot dish, I swear. But then we're eating, we're having fun without
Yeah.
Ted.
Yeah, without
And I
Ted.
stress without Ted. We're having fun, and then the boss shows up. Not Marion Mim Davy, the one right under her. We call him Kelly, and Kelly comes in and is on his phone the whole time.
Emergency emails.
Yeah,
Good
and then
weather.
the mood just, it was like, okay, we're done. And then we went home. Anyway,
I had to go to bed.
Kelly was working. Anyway, let's get started. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Here we go. Oh, and Leo didn't come
Leo.
because Leo just stayed home. He had a good excuse.
Yeah,
He just didn't even come to the hotel.
Yeah.
We love Leo. A friend of the show. You know, even if someone appears on this show once, we claim them, girl. A friend of the show was eliminated on The Masked Singer last night, and before we tell you who, take a listen.
You were humming to yourself and softly strumming your guitar. I could hear the distant drums and sounds of bugle calls were coming from afar.
I know that
There was
voice.
something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Fernando. They were shining there for you and me. I
don't recognize that voice.
Fernando.
Oh my goodness, is that former Chancellor Angela Merkel? You know I love when they guess.
Must be.
Holy crap, is that Madeleine Albright back from the dead? Any guesses? Nicole thought it was Paula Abdul. Robin Thicke thought it was Kylie Minogue. Ken Jeong thought it was Sarah Jessica Parker.
What?
There's not a chance that SJ. Anyway, it was Debbie Gibson. That's right. Our friend of our show, Debbie Gibson, and Miss McCarthy got it right. There she is, our good buddy, Debbie Gibson. She's so sweet. She was on our show last season and was just the sweetest, nicest woman.
She really was. And
She really
so
was.
Cute.
Yeah, and I went to see her concert. Was it this season, Jeff? Oh,
Oh.
I lose track.
Her orange jumpsuit.
We had so much fun last night at the get-together that I forget things.
I forgot.
Ted. Next in the dish, Pink was on with Howard Stern yesterday. Hi, Howard. She has a new album out. Howard asked her about her relationship with a certain pop star named Madonna. Look.
I think that she tried to kind of play me on Regis and Kelly, and I'm not the one, so it didn't work out.
What does that mean, Pink? She tried to play you.
Well, it's just such a silly story because I love Madonna, and
Right.
I love her no matter what. Like I still love her. I love her no matter what.
Right.
She was such an inspiration to me. But it sort of got twisted around that I was like fangirling and was dying to meet Madonna when in actuality she invited me into her dressing room. And so I just said a joke when Regis brought me out. He's like, how does it feel to meet? Like, I mean, I heard you're just falling over yourself backstage. How does it feel? I'm like, I thought she wanted to meet me. Didn't work out.
Oh, and that
Didn't work out for
so,
us.
So she took that personally. I wish you. Listen, I got a surprise for you. Madonna's here, and she's going to fight you now. You're going to go 3 rounds, and it's going to be great.
I love you, Howard, so much. Hi, Robin. Look, if that's true, and Pink would have no reason to lie, if Madonna, you can't be that sensitive, Sally Madonna, and I don't think that she is. I think, you know what this is I think this is a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I don't think Madonna realizes that Pink feels this way.
No, and
Why would you care?
right, and I really wish I could see that clip that she's referring to
Me
on
too.
Regis and Kelly. I mean, it's so old, obviously, that you can't probably. I don't know.
Yeah, because it wasn't even that funny of a joke. You know what I mean?
It's like,
no
what?
offense, but you know.
I don't get it.
I would, because I want those two to come together. I like both of them. That would be an awesome duet. Pink and Madonna. Can you imagine?
You know who else would be really good with Pink?
Who?
Gaga. Gaga and Pink.
I've never thought about that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Kendall, you may have thought of something there. You're so good. Pink also talked about being a parent and coordinating her tour around her kids, which is nice. I mean, when you're Pink, you can do that.
Right?
I mean, and why wouldn't you? If you have the power and you can control the dates. Yeah.
Yeah, she said something on the Today Show about how she loves going and chaperoning her daughter's dances because the kids are like so awkward. And you know that awkward phase when you're 11 years old, you like don't even know how to talk to anybody?
Yeah.
She said one of the boys wanted to dance with their daughter and Pink basically had to be like, it's okay. You can dance with my child because Pink's so intimidating.
Hell, I'm still in that awkward phase. So is Jeff. We have much more to come today, but first, don't forget, as I said at the top of the broadcast, be a part of our studio audience. You can even come tomorrow. We're going to have fun. Fridays are always a good time. Head to our Facebook page for a link, or go to eventbrite.com, or get the Eventbrite app. You're going to need it anyway. It has all the events on it. Search for The Jason Show, and Kendall.
What?
What am I going to say?
Only pick a date where you can actually come.
Thank you. Before we go to break, though, check out our studio audience selfies from this week. We had so much fun. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Eugene Levy was on with Colbert last night. He's, of course, from one of my favorite shows of the last 10 years, Bleeps Creek and American Pie. Now he's in a new Apple TV Plus show called The Reluctant Traveler. A little bit of that interview is our late night rewind.
In which it brings you to destinations like Finland, the Maldives, South Africa, elsewhere. This sounds like a fantastic gig. How did this come about?
Well, I get a call saying, Apple TV Plus wants you to host a travel show, and it was about hotels initially, exotic hotels around the world. I think it was called Room with a View when it was pitched to me.
Yeah.
And I, of course, and so I get excited thinking, I'm getting one of these calls to travel around the world, visiting all these great hotels. And then, in the next couple of sentences, I'm thinking, okay, all right, just a minute, but you don't like traveling. You're not really a curious person. You have no sense of adventure. Not really an explorer. They got the wrong guy. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy for this. So I said, I'm not the guy. Honestly, I think you can find a better person who truly enjoys this kind of thing. What I didn't know was after that call, they got together, the executive and the producer, and said, that's the show. That's the show. It's...
He's so great. Everything he does is fantastic. Best in Show is one of my favorites. Just love it. Our Hot Dish Now continues with our insider to the stars, who will inevitably make fun of our weather. Please welcome back from the Hollywood Raw podcast, Dax Holtz. Hi, buddy.
Good morning. How are you?
Have you heard about our weather, Dax?
It's hard to hear over all the sun that we're getting here. Oh. I'm just kidding. It's pouring rain outside. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Dax. I'm so sorry about your rain. How about this, Dax? My mother can't see her deck. How about that?
Is it that bad? Is it just crazy? What's it like? Tell me.
I'll have Ted send you a picture. It's about 11 inches of snow.
Oh, that sounds awful. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You had a rising country star on the podcast. Who'd you have?
Yeah, we had Whitney Miller on. If you're not familiar with the name, I'm sure you will know the name over the next couple years. She is awesome. What I love about our podcast is we get to introduce people. Maybe they're up and coming, or they're gaining a big audience. But Whitney Miller is one of those people. She actually started out. She was the former Miss USA. Okay, so she became pretty well known, and it was her second pageant. She literally went from Miss Texas to winning Miss USA. And I look at all these other people who have, had to over years and years and years in the pageant industry and winning competitions. She literally did 2 competitions and won straight to the top, which I thought was pretty crazy. But she went from winning Miss USA, then she got into fighting, jiu-jitsu, MMA, boxing, went down that route, which we got into on our conversation on the podcast, which I just thought was fascinating because it's such a contrast between a beauty queen to punch me in the face, and so that was a really fascinating story. And then now she is a country singer, and she is quickly rising up the ranks in Nashville. I just saw the other day she had this giant billboard down there. So we talked about her evolution through these different stages in her life. She has explored a lot in ayahuasca, which became a whole conversation topic for us. If you know much about that, it's this medicinal drug that you kind of go to another place, but you learn a lot about yourself. And it's she explained it, she's it's like going to 18 therapy sessions in one day. And you learn a lot about yourself, but she's done it 18 times now.
Well, after the snowstorm, we're actually going to be doing some ayahuasca in the last segment of this show.
It's going to get crazy up in there.
It's just, everyone, because we figured no one can leave their house, Dax. They're going to have to watch us. So,
Well, that will be good television. Send me the link.
Is country radio starting to pick her up?
Yeah, no, she was opening for Chase Rice the other day. I'm telling you, she is becoming a really big name quickly. So it'll be one of those interviews that in 4 years I'll be yeah, we had Whitney Miller on. We can't get her now, but we got her back then.
Well, on behalf of all of us here in the Twin Cities, we feel very sorry. We're thoughts and prayers for your reign. We feel very bad for you.
Stay warm, guys.
Bye, buddy. Get this episode and subscribe to Dax's podcast. Very easy. Hollywood Raw. If you hit subscribe, you'll find out when Dax drops a new episode. So there we go. Have you heard of her? Because you like country music.
I do. I have not yet. I know Chase Rice, though, and I like his music a lot. So if she's touring or opening up with him, I'm sure it's something similar enough that I'd like it.
You look really nice today. Can I just tell you that?
Thanks, Jason.
Non sequitur. No, I was just, I look at you every day.
Every day.
But no, red, you look really nice.
Thank you. I thought red would look good against the white of every snowstorm.
A little glow about you. Next in the dish, Netflix has dropped the trailer for its new docuseries. It's about the 1993. Now, Ted goes, before we start, Ted goes, okay, now this story we're going to get a little serious. So because, listen to this, it's about the 1993 standoff with cult leader David Koresh. It's called Waco, American Apocalypse. Great. Let's look.
What about these people here? They think I'm the son of God. They believed that the end of the world is coming soon and that they were going to be in a battle with the federal government.
They were amassing enough armament to outfit a small army.
The ultimate goal was to arrest David Koresh and to seize all of the illegal weapons.
911, what's your emergency? 75 men around our building and they're shooting at us at Mount Carmel. Tell them there are children and women in here to call it off.
For the media, this is a big story.
Very ugly situation, almost a warlike zone going on there. Get that camera out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
David made such statements as, "We are ready for war."
Okay, y'all been preparing 8 months for this. How long do you think we've been preparing?
Oh,
God.
I know. It's a little deep today, but we thought it was good. Yeah, I like a good, this looks good. Executive producer Jeff said, and I quote, "I'll watch anything about a cult." Tells you everything you need to know about our EP. That's right. I'll watch it with you. Ted's not invited, though. Waco, American Apocalypse hits Netflix next month. Showtime will also air its own Waco series, starring Michael Shannon in April. Are we coming up on an anniversary or something?
Very hot right now.
Very?
Waco, okay.
Cults are hot?
Well,
Is that what he just said?
You're young, but before Chip and Joanna made Waco famous.
Well, no, I
This is-
remember.
yeah.
Well, Taylor Kitsch was in the one Waco show, and it was really good. I mean, he's Hubba Bubba,
Yeah.
but.
We're coming up on 30 years? Okay, that's why, yeah. Next in the dish, drama is a brewing behind the scenes of the Mean Girls sequel that no one knew was coming. Initially, the four stars, Lindsay Lohan, The Notebook's Rachel McAdams, Amanda Seyfried, and Lacey Chabert, Ted's girlfriend, all agreed to return. But now that's all up in the air. Again, we didn't even know this was happening. According to Page Six, all four may be out because of what they perceive as a disrespectful money offer from the studio, the people over there at Paramount. Rachel was offered a larger part than the other three, but that hasn't even been signed off. The good news is, if this ever gets off the ground, Tina Fey's writing it, and she's back, and Tim Meadows is back. How did we not know this was even happening?
I don't know. That was it's one of my most like quoted movies too. So if somebody was going to know that,
It would be
I
you.
would know. Yeah, I had no idea until we read this story today.
And especially with Faye being back.
Yeah.
With Tina Fey being back.
Right.
And writing it.
Right.
Because they made a horrible Mean Girls 2 that went right to
Nobody cares.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Right.
Tim Meadows was the only one that came back. But if Tina Fey's writing this, she's obviously cracked the story, which tells me that it's good.
Right.
So Paramount, give them the money.
And all four of
It's
those
going to be a
stars?
huge hit. If you got
Yeah.
all four stars and Tina Fey, you have money in the bank. Cash that check, Paramount.
Idiots.
Take just a little bit from Gayle King. Just a little bit.
A little bit. She won't mind.
She has all the Paramount money, yeah. Next in the dish, the folks at the Oscars don't want to be caught flat-footed again. In the event anything weird happens, any shenanigans, like a slap or something, they will be prepared this time. In a new interview with Time, the head of the Academy says they now have a crisis team in place, should there be any copycats. He says they hope to be prepared for anything that they may not anticipate, like a streaker, an unwanted kiss, a slap, a member of your staff making a tiki lounge in a hotel room. Who leaves the shower on to recreate the humidity of Hawaii.
You did not.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God, Eric.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
What? He left the
Yes.
shower on so we'd
This-
feel the humidity?
Yeah. This Oscar thing, at first I wanted to make fun of it, and I don't want to get all serious, but I'll just say this. You know what? We're living in this post-pandemic era where people are just nutter butters.
Yeah.
People are screaming at people. They scream at security guards and flight attendants, and I just awful. People are just, I don't know. They probably should have had this years ago.
Right.
So not a bad idea.
Yeah, I feel like people have been anti-socialized. Like we just don't know how to be normal people anymore.
So at first I wanted to laugh at this, but this is good, not because of the will thing, but they should have that anyway.
And
It's
isn't
a
that
huge
sad?
live event, and people are just yahoos. It's time to meet our next JVIP of the week. Today it's Brittany from Coon Rapids, Minnesota. She says she loves how fun the show is and how lighthearted it is. Well, except when we show you a Waco documentary trailer. Brittany says it's a refreshing break from everything else going on in the world. Brittany, skip this episode. She gets a Jason Show mug. She's also entered to win the monthly grand prize. That includes being a VIP guest in our audience, a $150 gift card to Becker Furniture World, and a $150 gift card to our newest sponsor, the Institute of Advanced Aesthetics. I love them. I love that fancy name. A brand new person on the Jason Show. I'm excited about her and much more, so grab a cup of coffee. You're not going anywhere. You're snowed in. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Coming up, you've heard a lot about that Star Wars hotel at Walt Disney World, but is the trip worth the money, and will your family really like it? Journalist and Disney friend Brooke McDonald makes her Jason Show debut with the answer. And the sequel no one asked for. Ted and his snowblower strikes back. We will be right back. Welcome back. Look at that beautiful picture of Epcot Center behind me. It's my favorite background in 8 years. You can actually, this is part of the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. You can get this for your phone on their app. Welcome back, everybody. There's a reason I'm looking real happy right now. Our next guest and I have a shared love of Disney, and she writes about travel for publications like The Points Guy and more, helping families navigate Disney. I always say that Disney influencers drive me crazy, but Michael does Disney and Brooke are the only two that I love. She is the best. Give it up for Disney blogger Brooke McDonald. Hi, Brooke.
Hello.
Thank you.
So excited to be here.
I'm really excited to have you. And it was funny, Brooke, I got to tell folks, Brooke has done podcasts. Brooke is a journalist. Her name is on bylines everywhere. But I approached Brooke to do this, and you were like, I don't know. I've only done podcasts. So I'm thrilled that you are doing this. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah, I very rarely talk on camera, but here we are. I'm excited to talk with you.
I want to start. I want to kind of start at the beginning. As I said in the intro, you and I have a shared love of Disney. And we have a picture of you as a kid. When did your We're getting it. Okay. When did your love of Disney start, Brooke, and how?
Oh gosh, I mean, childhood for sure. We started going as a family, as early as I can remember. I think my first trip I was probably 3, and we went, more or less every year throughout my childhood. And even after college and in my adult life, I was living in London for a while, and then I would get to Disneyland Paris. And when I moved home and had my first son, his first Walt Disney World trip was at 8 months old, and then my second son's first trip was at 4 months old, and we've just been, we joined Disney Vacation Club, so in order to make it less expensive to go really regularly and stay in, the deluxe resorts, which is a wonderful component of DVC. And, then we got annual passes, and it kind of just spiraled, and I continued to scale up. I've always been a writer, editor, journalist, but I was able to really scale up my Disney coverage and really blend, what I love to do in my personal life with what I do for work.
Brooke, I always try to explain to folks, because here in the Twin Cities and we're in Seattle and different places, I always try to describe, because people in the state knows that I love Disney World and I love Disney. And I always try to explain to people why as an adult. Oh, it's just for kids. And there's a picture of me, I think, as a kid at Disney World, but there I am with Pinocchio. But, oh, look at my shorts that I have pulled up to my neck. But anyway, Brooke, what do you say to people? What is it? How do you and I explain it to people? I mean, it is magic. What is it about Disney World that brings your family back there?
Gosh, when I first had kids, it felt like a lot of vacationing and just generally parenting is a lot of work. And when you want to go on a vacation, a beach vacation as a parent isn't really relaxing. You're worried about your kids, running in the water, and you're building sandcastles, and you're putting on, sunscreen and dealing with sand 100 times and things like that. For some reason, when we would go to the Disney parks, it was like your entertainment is just there. Everyone's happy. We kind of as parents would just sort of stand behind our kids and follow along and follow their energy and excitement. And so the way that it actually became sort of an easy, I know people think it's so hard to go to Walt Disney World. It's so hard to go to Disneyland, the planning, it's exhausting. But once you get it down to a science, we actually feel like it's the easiest, most enjoyable vacation we could possibly do.
I agree with you, and we're going to talk specifically in the next segment. Brooke just got back from the much talked about Star Wars hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser. But I do want to ask you a broad question because, as I said in the intro, I adore you. Brooke is really probably the only person that's there more than I am, and Colin. But I'm going to put you on the spot. Give everyone watching, because one of the good things about Brooke is she is looking at this through the lens of a parent and as a journalist. What is one of your best general tips for people watching right now that are in the midst of planning a summer or fall trip to Disney World?
Well, you know what? You really just have to look at what your priorities are.
Yep.
And think about what you're willing to spend and how much your time is money on your vacation. If it's a once a year trip or a once every 5 years trip or a once in a lifetime trip, you really need to think about budgeting for Disney Genie Plus and budgeting for the individual lightning lanes. And that is an extra cost that can be, Disney Genie, it really depends on when you're going. Disney Genie Plus could be for a family of 4 an additional $120 a day. So it's certainly not insignificant. But if you are going right now when crowds are high, it's all about maximizing that experience. Is your priority your resort and the pool and where you're staying, or you have to think about the proximity to the right parks that you're going to spend the most time at. It's really asking yourself, what are my top priorities? If it's rides, you're going to want to budget, I think, for things like Disney Genie Plus and more individual lightning lanes, and really strategize, early entry and rope drop and staying late and trying to hit those low times.
I love, and we're going to take a break in a second. I love that you said, because I say, Colin and I, when we go, time is money at Disney. It is everywhere, but you're spending a lot of money already, and you want to maximize right, Brooke? You want to maximize every minute you're there.
Absolutely. I mean, there are ways, to do other things and not spend as much money. And as a family that goes all the time, we do that a lot. We do a lot fewer rides lately because we couldn't go as much as we do if we bought Disney Genie Plus every single day, for example. So we have found alternatives. But if you are that once a year, once every 5 years family, you're going to want to consider that more strongly.
As I said a few minutes ago, Brooke and her family just got back from an incredible trip aboard the Galactic Star Cruiser. What is it like? Is it for your family? What's the pricing like? Everything. Brooke has it when we come back. In the meantime, follow Brooke right there. Her address is the bottom, Brooke G. McDonald. We'll be back. More with Brooke after this. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Well, I'm joined today by Disney travel blogger, journalist Brooke McDonald. Again, follow Brooke. Somebody said this about you, Brooke. Nobody knows more about everything that's going on in the parks than Brooke, and it's the darn truth. Okay, Brooke, you just got back, because I do follow you. Actually, Brooke, we got that video. I want to see this. I want everyone to see. This is how long Brooke's... Brooke, look at you! Oh, my goodness. Look at these pictures.
Those rainbow costumes at Epcot, the classic.
I was just going to say, look at Minnie's costume.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke, how old were you there? Like 6 or 7?
No, I think younger than that. I think like about 5.
Oh, my gosh. So cute. Well, as I said, Brooke just got back, literally just got back from the Galactic Star Cruiser. Let me ask you a general question first. The Star Wars Hotel, as people call it. What is it, Brooke, for people that aren't like you and I that are versed in the vernacular? What really is this?
Well, first of all, what it's not is a hotel. It is a place where you do sleep there, but it is a 2-day, 2-night, completely immersive experience. It's essentially a space cruise that it's a virtual space cruise. You board a ship, you take a launch pod up into space, you step into the most beautiful atrium. All of the windows on the ship are out into space. You'll make jumps to hyperspace. There's sounds and kind of the feeling that you're on a ship the whole time. Even in your cabin, you have a porthole out into space. That's your window. So everything about the space is, it's not a traditional hotel. There's not a pool, there's not a fitness center, things like that. And it is completely immersive. There are characters throughout, and you basically step onto the ship and step into a story. The other big thing I would say is this is an absolute VIP type of experience, the way that you're treated. If you think that Disney cast members are, go above and beyond at all over property, this is an absolute next level. There's someone helping you or asking you what you need all the time. And then there's, you turn and there might be a Star Wars a stormtrooper standing next to you, ready to interrogate you, or a droid rolling up. And it is just, for Star Wars fans particularly, it is like nothing I have ever experienced. It's our favorite vacation we've ever done in our lives, for sure.
And that's saying a lot, because Brooke has done it all, especially in the Disney universe. Brooke, as you know, it's a controversial topic, the Galactic Star Cruiser, mainly because of its affordability. That has come down. Disney has listened, haven't they? And the prices are coming down a little bit. Am I right on that?
Not exactly.
Okay.
So the base prices have more or less stayed the same. They have offered a discount so far to Disney Vacation Club members, which depending on how you work it, with the way that you would use your points and the discounts, that can actually translate to a pretty nice discount. And then they have offered a discount option for the nights before and or after you would stay at a Walt Disney World resort, if you were to, and I really recommend bookending this experience with a stay. You don't want to arrive the morning of, and it's such a frenetic, immersive experience that you really want to sleep on property the night before and be, ready to go. So that is a discount that can be up to $700 if you were to stay for 2 nights, depending on which resort. But the cost of the Star Cruiser experience itself is still more or less the same right now, as it was at launch.
Which is several $1,000s. Here's the family. Brooke, I love these pictures so much. Like that, it is like walking into a Star Wars movie. We have about a minute left. You guys have done this a few times, and every time the adventure is different, right, Brooke?
Every time the adventure is different. There are a whole bunch of different paths that you can take, and they change. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure driven to some extent by your data pad, that's your phone, and you have all these conversations with characters on there, and you make decisions and you choose who you're going to help. And then that kind of also fuels the interactions and the meetings that you find yourself in. You might be in a first order meeting in the engineering room, or you might be in bridge training with the captain and decide to stick with her and help her throughout the voyage. And there is also an excursion that you take where you sort of, backdoor into Batuu, into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge without ever seeing the entrance or walking through Toy Story Land or anything like that. So the immersion is totally maintained throughout the story. So it's really just a start to finish, deeply immersive experience.
I hope people go. I hope they're watching this. And if you're planning a trip, if you don't listen to me, if you don't listen to Brooke, she knows everything. Brooke, I so appreciate this. Will you please come back on the show?
I would love to. It's so great to talk to you and see you, Jason.
And I can't wait to finally meet you. I can't believe all the times we've never run into each other. So
it's going to happen soon, I'm sure of it.
It's going to. Brooke McDonald, everyone. To check out all of Brooke's travel articles and content, look for her on Instagram. Her handle is Brooke G. McDonald. We will be right back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Well, yesterday, I love a good cliffhanger, primetime soaps and all. We left you on a cliffhanger. Producer Ted tried to achieve Snowmageddon status. If you missed it, here is a recap.
Last time on The Jason Show.
How do I become a hero?
It's about doing the right thing. The Snowmageddon is somebody who helps those people.
I don't exactly have any superpowers.
Bruce Wayne didn't have any superpowers either, but he had super cool tools.
Lamb skin, choppers.
The Beast!
We have a group of children. They've got to get to the bus.
I'm ready to snowblow. You didn't ask me, I don't know who you are.
The neighborhood has been snowed in. They're counting on you. This is just a test. You got to do it in the real world.
So you're saying this segment is to be continued.
Will Ted ever become a hero? Will Ted ever become a Snowmageddon? Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion.
Okay, so it's the wee hours of the morning here on the morning of Snowmageddon.
and we're trying to get our Snowmageddon badge. And I noticed that some of the hotel sidewalks aren't shoveled.
Yes.
And Jordan, you need some help shoveling.
Yes.
Where?
All the doors. All the doors. I shoveled the front door about 3 times last night. When I got in, didn't really stick. So we got door 1 to 6.
6 doors.
6 doors.
All these people behind me, all of them, just sleeping away, just sleeping away. And little do they know, there's a Snowmageddon outside. Not really sure where the sidewalk is. I assume it's in between the light posts. There's a reason he hasn't shoveled it yet. Oh, how about that? Woo! Door 2, here we go.
Oh, thank God, now I can walk to work.
Come on. Come on. There we go. Door 4.
Couldn't you have picked a hotel that has less doors? Look at all those stuck people, Ted.
I'm here to save you. Don't go anywhere. This might be our biggest challenge yet. I see about 3 snow pillows.
If it's threatening, you should probably come up with a better name than pillow.
Snow dangerous pillow. We did it! We did it! You are all saved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right here.
Up top.
Yeah.
I think he earned a hug.
No. No.
Yeah, come on, give him a
Okay.
hug. Get in there.
Big hug. Come on, everybody. Can do that.
Ah, Theodore.
Hello.
My little Snowmageddon.
Right here. The head of the Toro Corporation has given me the Snowmageddon badge, and it's official.
I was mad at you at the beginning of the show, but that made me, you know what? Now I love you again.
Now you know what I was doing that whole time.
Oh, whatever. You were not doing that anyway. Ted Johnson, everyone. We're going to take a break. Wrapping things up when we come back. Back in a moment. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Kendall, what have we done? A background so good, I can't get rid of it. Don't forget to download this. This is my screensaver. You can get it on the Disney app.
Okay.
Thank you, Leo. Look at that. It just makes me happy, just like you do. It's time for the world's shortest segment. Lizzo takes a trip to Sesame Street and discovers a one-of-a-kind instrument. Look at this.
This is it, Elmo? Yes, Miss Lizzo. Sesame Street's famous cookie flute. I've played a lot of instruments, but I've never played a cookie before. May I? Go for it.
So cute. Lizzo playing a cookie flute. Unfortunately, Cookie Monster showed up and wanted to try it as well and ended up eating the whole flute.
Aww.
The end. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, friends. Look at Epcot. Look at that, Kendall. Don't forget to head to the Jason Show swag shop. Facebook page. Pick up some sweatshirts and cups and cigarette lighters and more. Time for the surprise goodbye. Today, a crafty orangutan in California. A woman said her son dropped his baby bottle into a pool of water near the orangutans at the LA Zoo. That's when a crafty ape fashioned some paper into a hook.
What?
Pulling the bottle closer to its hand. They got the bottle and proceeded to use it. Oh my goodness.
So cool.
I couldn't even figure out that.
You can't even be mad about that if you want to drop the bottle.
Look at that, the miracle of nature.
I love animals.
That's so good. By the way, we just found out the hotel is called. They've requested Ted come back for an afternoon snowblower.
So you started, Ted.
I mean, we're gonna go out to lunch. He's not gonna come. I mean, you know,
He's
so he's
available.
nothing else to do. Yeah. Tomorrow on the show, the cooking mom is back, and Ted hits a snowcross track and gets air.
Sure does.
This is why we don't win Emmys. Go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. Stay safe, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Come on, Kendall. Let's go to lunch without Ted.
Yeah. Sorry, Ted.